What's going on, Collider Games fans? I'm Caboose, and today what I got for you guys here is my official review for Mortal Kombat 11. I've been anticipating this ever since its announcement back during the Game Awards in December, and I have been most anticipating this game for the entirety of this year, so there's a lot that I want to talk about in this review, and I definitely don't want it to just seem like all of my hype and excitement surrounding the game has clouded me from some of the negative things that I've definitely taken back in my experience playing it. So let's jump in and let's start off this review with the positives. First of all, the story, in my personal opinion, is really well crafted. There are a couple of plot holes, and there are definitely some moments in the story where I had really wished that they would have given us a little bit more of an explanation as to where some of the missing characters have gone, as there are definitely characters that were very heavily involved in MKX's story that are completely missing here as they are not featured on the roster, but those characters don't even get a mention. There really isn't any explanation as to where they have gone. But outside of those small gripes, I did really love the writing with the story this time around. There's definitely a tricky task to take on when you tell a story that involves any form of time travel. So I obviously know that plenty of people out there are going to have a lot of nitpicks when it comes to Mortal Kombat 11's story, but if we're talking from just face value, playing through the story, I was thoroughly entertained, and there were plenty of moments that got me really excited as a Mortal Kombat fan, and I was satisfied with the way that it ended. So I'd say, in my personal opinion, that a job well done here from a story mode standpoint for Mortal Kombat 11. Another thing that I can absolutely praise about Mortal Kombat 11 that I'm sure unanimously will be praised is how smooth the gameplay is. This game runs perfectly. It feels incredible. Each and every match I was having a unique experience, and I was really enjoying myself specifically because of how the game plays. There is this sort of mini kind of metagame within the actual fight that you'll go through where you have to strategize on utilizing your crushing blows. For those who don't know, there are certain moves on a moveset for a character that must be performed meeting specific requirements that you can check on the character's moves list that will then give you an upgraded version of that string or special move, and with that you can get additional damage, you can pop up your opponent for a continued combo, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. The only stipulation, of course, is that you can only do that once per match. So you get this sort of mini game kind of chess match in your head when you're in a fight against a person and you want to strategize and use those crushing blows at the right moment. You don't want to waste it right off the bat because it could potentially become very useful later in that fight. So I love stuff like that, and everything is so perfectly put together when it comes to a gameplay standpoint on MK11. The one other thing that I really surprisingly loved the hell out of in this game is the Crypt. This is going to provide you a lot, and I mean a lot of hours of entertainment, and it is a single player mode. There are some certain gripes that I have with it that I will get into when I get to my negatives, but just looking at the Crypt, when I first jumped in, I was blown away, and this desperately makes me want to see what NetherRealm could be capable of in creating a potential third-person action-adventure game set within the Mortal Kombat universe. I think that would be incredible, whether it's like another Shaolin Monks game, whether it's the canceled Fire and Ice game that they had planned at some point. I don't know, but I would love to see NetherRealm tackle it, especially after playing through the Crypt. It is addicting. You get so much single-player content here in jumping between the Towers of Time to earn coins, soul fragments, and of course those hearts. All three of those currencies play a huge factor in the Crypt, and then you'll jump back into the Crypt and use everything that you've been earning thus far to open up new chests, unlock new areas, get gear for your characters. It is crazy how detailed the Crypt is. I was thoroughly blown away with how good this was. By far the best Crypt we have gotten in a Mortal Kombat game. However, the big problem is there is an issue regarding having an online connection in order to unlock and earn rewards out of the Crypt. And that is a major problem. I don't know exactly what the logistics of this are. I don't understand the tech talk behind here. However, There needs to be some sort of middle ground that NetherRealm can figure out a way to get to in order to allow people to enjoy everything the Crypt has to offer while also still feeling rewarded when opening up chests and finding new areas, as that is the big play behind the Crypt. Is yes, it's cool to explore, but you also want to be earning gear and unlocking skins and augments and all sorts of fun stuff for your characters on the roster. To have that eliminated just because I'm not connected to the internet is something I am not happy about, and I'm sure plenty of people out there will also voice their opinions on this and the problems that they have with this as well, as this is a major issue. So hopefully some sort of fix can be done here, some sort of middle ground can be found to give us the best of both worlds. And granted, for me, I'm always connected to online anyways. I always got the Ethernet cable plugged in and everything, both on my PC and on my Xbox. However, I know that there are some people out there that maybe aren't always going to be connected to the internet, and you never know. What if my internet goes out one day and I just want to play Mortal Kombat 11? I'm not going to be able to enjoy the full experience of the Crypt because my internet's out, and that's not good. Another issue that I had with MK11 is how much of a grind this game can be. It can sometimes get tedious to be playing through the Towers of Time and going through these frustrating levels just so you can get some of those coins, jump into the Crypt, and spend it all within like 10 or 15 minutes, then rinse and repeat the process. At first, it was fun, and I still do find some enjoyment in it. The Towers of Time can be a lot of fun at times. However, there are also some moments where it gets extremely frustrating because some of the modifiers that are active just make it unplayable. You're not able to do any combos, you're not able to have any real enjoyment in a fight because there are just these crazy, ridiculous modifiers active in some of the towers, and I just didn't find enjoyment in that, especially considering that I'm going to get not as big of a reward as I expected to, and I'll jump into the Crypt to hopefully have the RNG god bless me with an amazing piece of gear for one of the characters that I'm playing as, and not some piece of gear for a character that I'm not really playing as at all. I will say that in the build that I played, there were these time crystals that we weren't able to use at all. I assume it has something to do with microtransactions. As of the recording of this review, though, we don't know exactly what the use of it is. However, it does seem that the reason it's so difficult to unlock gear and the reason that it's so time consuming is that it might be because they want to push you in the direction of spending money on the microtransactions to get that easy way out of unlocking new pieces of gear. That would be really upsetting. Listen, I know it sounds like I'm harping on the game quite a bit and talking a lot about the negatives, but trust me, my overall experience with the game was very positive. I did thoroughly enjoy Mortal Kombat 11. It's a damn good game, and it features quite a bit of single-player content, more so than I ever would have expected, and more so than I think they've ever packed in any of their fighting games when it comes to single-player content. And you can definitely jump online to that perfect net code and play against other people in the multiple different modes that are available. So there's a lot of fun to be had with MK11, and it's really enjoyable when it's good. But there are just a few things that I needed to mention. There are a few shady business practices that seem to be in play here, and the always online thing with the Crypt is a big problem. And I hope that with this inevitable outcry that's going to come out when Mortal Kombat 11 launches, which will be after this review goes up, that NetherRealm listens, or WB Games listens to that outcry and tries to find that common ground to fix some of the issues that are in play here. But like I said, I really did enjoy Mortal Kombat 11, and I will give it my verdict. This game, from me, gets an 8.5 out of 10. If you're on the fence about getting the game, I definitely would consider it, especially if you're a fan of either fighting games or Mortal Kombat. And if you're not a fan of either, the Crypt still has plenty of cool things available for you. And if you don't think you're going to be too good at the whole fighting aspect of it, well, you can just create an AI character and just throw them into the mix so that they can do the job for you. You can go over into the customize menu and choose how exactly you want your AI character to play. And then when you select the Towers of Time, you can turn on the AI fighter. So then you don't really have to do the dirty work. This is also pretty good as well for when you're playing that tower that's a little too difficult that maybe the AI can handle for you. So that is pretty good, and I like that aspect of it. But that's it. That is my review of Mortal Kombat 11, and now we're going to kick it to you guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you played the game? If so, what are your thoughts on it? And if you haven't yet, are you looking forward to it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, a positive rating would be appreciated, and you can subscribe to the Collider Games channel for more gaming coverage. And while you're at it, follow us on Twitter at Collider Gaming, linked in the description. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.